This is video number 2 for 16-1. On April 5th, 2017, Janine took out an 8.5% loan for $20,000. The loan is due March 9th, 2018. Use ordinary interest to calculate the interest. What total amount will Janine pay on March 9th, 2018? Okay, so first we do need to find the number of days from April 5th, 2017 to March 9th, 2018, and that would be, use your calculator, pause here so you can practice this, go to your date function to figure out this number of days. So it would be 338 days. I hope you paused that and tried that on your own. And now we have to find the amount of interest. It says, remember, we're finding what total amount will she pay at the end of the loan. So the amount of interest is going to be her loan amount of $20,000. That's our principal. 8.5%, if we write that with a decimal instead of the 1/2. So that's going to be 0.085 when we convert it to a decimal equivalent to that percent for 338 days. And it told us, did it tell us to use, ordinary interest right here. That means 360 days for our calculation. So when I get this amount of interest, it is $1,596.11, and then we would add that to the $20,000 because that's what she would owe at the end of the loan, right? So that would be $21,596.11 at the end of the loan, which was, let's see, it was due on March 9th, so 338 days. Okay, here's another practice problem. So the information's in a table this time instead of a word problem format. It's really doing this the same way. And let's use 2020 on our date to 2021. And I'm doing that just because that'll give you, the year to use on that, so it won't be confusing. So once again, use your date function and go to second format, which is your decimal, put in these dates and compute days between dates. Pause right here so you can be sure and practice this. And it will be 213 days. So now we're going to calculate the interest amount. So the principal is $1,300. The interest rate is 11%. And then the number of days was 213. We are using ordinary interest, so that's 360 days. And we end up with 84.61. So I'm going to put that in the chart. And then our maturity value is going to be this amount of interest plus our $1,300 that we borrowed, and we get $1,384.61. All right, and then we're going to compute basically the same loan that we just talked about, but now with exact interest instead of ordinary interest. So our interest amount is going to be just a little bit different than it was on the previous question. Okay, so we're going to use the same 213 days. Our interest is going to be calculated as 1,300 times 0.11 times 213 over 365. That's the only thing that's changing. So a little bit different on interest is all we're going to have here. So when you calculate that, you get 83.45. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our chart. And then we add that, I'm going to go ahead and change colors, 83.45 to 1,300 to give us our maturity value at the end of the loan. So 1,383.45. Okay, so just a little bit of difference on the previous question. Our interest amount was 84.61, so you can see it was just a little bit different, just a little over $1 of difference. Okay, number 9, and this is our last question. Lerner Hall's real estate tax of 2010-88 was due on December 14th, 2017. Lorna lost her job and could not pay her tax bill until February 27th of 2018. The penalty for late payment is 6.5 ordinary interest. Okay, so as you're going through, you want to look at different things that you're told here so you can figure out how to set this up. We do need to find the number of days between December 14th and February 27th. So use your date function for that and compute DBD, and you'll find that it is 75 days. All right. And then we're going to find the amount of interest because her penalty is 6.5% interest on her balance that she owes of 2010-88. So that's going to be times 0.065 times 75 days out of 360 because it's ordinary interest. So we get $27.23. So she gets a penalty. It's not real terrible. And then that's what she would have to add on to her 2010-88. So on February 27th, she's going to owe $2,038.11. Well, that still looks a little crazy. Had too much of a tail there. And let's see, that is the end of the lesson. And we'll continue on with all this interest type stuff on the next lesson, which is 16.2. Bye, everyone.